Yeah, in the first half I think it's more open, the game, because Arsenal to do a lot of chance in the first half, but in the second half I think to control the ball very good, moving the ball in between the lines very faster and create a lot of chance, and when you score the goal it's unbelievable for us because playing very good until the end.
What does this mean for you, a European trophy with Chelsea now?
Yeah, for me it's an unbelievable feeling now because it's another trophy, European trophy, another goal in a final. And it's special for me because it's the first time to play Europe League and to win, and for me, for this reason, it's unbelievable. But I think the best is the teamwork today, all together as a big team. I think this is the most important thing to do.
That's you pretty much completed the collection now, isn't it, in Europe? Europa League in as well now?
Yeah. It's another trophy, and very good, very happy to win again another title. And I think we deserve this Europe League because I think it's the best team during the tournament.
Does this change the dynamic in the season a bit as well for you? You were in another final, you're in the Champions League, but now the silverware, the really important bit as well.
Yeah, it's better to close the season with the title. No, I think it's unbelievable for the players because it's too long this season, and to close with this title is good for us, for the supporters, for the club, for everybody.
Your relationship with Eden Hazard on the pitch is obviously very, very good. He was great in that second half. He said at the end it might be a farewell appearance for him. If it is, he is going to be so hard to replace, isn't he?
Yeah, I link with Eden very good, and he's the best player, no? He's the best player on the team. Always score, always dribble, pass, assist. He's a top player, and I'm so happy for him for this title as well.
Can you change his mind? Get up.
Just about every final we play.
6 goals in finals.
Unbelievable. He's always there in important moments, Pedro.
He's such a correct player.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say he's up there with the best, but his movement off the ball is great.
He's the typical
two-footed. He's a coach's dream, I think.
Exactly.
Tactically immaculate. Gives everything. Very complete.
Yeah. Okay, we've heard from the man who scored the goals. Let's hear from a man at the other end of the park, David Luiz. His thoughts on the game.
This is what it's all about, isn't it, David? Walking around with those fans who've made a long journey. They've seen you lift another trophy.
Yes, I think it was a great year. Like I said before, we had some up and downs, but I think we improved a lot during all the season. We learned a lot, and we finished very well. So we qualified for the Champions League straight away in the 3rd position, and today we won a trophy.
Great year for you in particular because this manager believes in you.
I don't know. I think it's my third title with Chelsea in Europe. So many managers trust on me, gave me opportunities to play football. I have to be grateful for everybody because everybody helped me to learn. And of course, Sahi believe in my game. He's a great guy, great person, great coach, and he deserves that.
You know those question marks over the manager's future, Eden Hazard's future as well. You'll be so keen for them to stay, won't you? In particular the manager, because Eden will make his own decision, of course.
Yes, I think the manager did amazing. He's doing amazing for this club. And I don't know, it's the speculations. Everybody talk about things every day. I think now is the moment to talk about the title. We won against a fantastic team. I think Arsenal did great also in this competition. It was tough opponents. I think today we deserve more, but I also have to congratulate Arsenal because they did amazing.
They only scored one wonder goal. There are 2 strikers who've scored so many this season. You stopped them.
Chelsea stopped Arsenal, not the defense stopped the striker. I think Chelsea stopped Arsenal.
Well done. I'll let you go and celebrate. Thank you.
Some special pictures there, Eden, making sure he goes round and celebrates with every single member of the Chelsea backroom team, and big moments for these players and a big moment to win this trophy. Look, we've talked about the painful defeats to the likes of Manchester City. We've touched on the sort of embarrassment and the controversy in the League Cup final with the goalkeeper situation. Permanent questions about Maurizio Sarri's future. How much does winning this trophy change the context of this whole season?
Winning changes everything, really. I mean, the mood, the happiness surrounding absolutely everyone. You can see the joy in their faces because when you don't have a really top season, but you end up with a trophy, you go on holiday with a different feeling.
But so you still don't think it's a top season? I struggle to know what more Sarri and Chelsea could have done this season.
Very successful season. But I think what Chelsea are used to is competing for the title and competing for the Champions League, if we all agree here. I mean, it's fantastic winning the Europa League, but you want to see Hazard playing in the Champions League, really, not in Europa League. That's what I'm talking about. But definitely ending on a high. This is what I'm talking about. It's very important for the club.
I think we just saw Hazard there shaking hands just as we broke away from the pitch side with Abramovich there. I think it'll be a special discussion between the two of them. He'll have to get permission from the owner to leave because they won't want to let him go. They can afford to keep him even if he runs his contract down. He's that important. There's two transfer
embargoes. If he wants to go, though, he's been such a great servant to the club. Doesn't he deserve the chance to do what he dreams of?
I think that's what he'll do. I think Abramovich will do that as he did for Petr Cech when he decided that he wanted to go, a sit-down discussion. But it's still going to be a massive loss for that football club for Chelsea. It's a step backwards for Chelsea.
Almost irreplaceable, and of course they can't replace him if they're under a transfer ban, which they will continue better and with the trophy as well. Right, let's have a look back then at the key moments this evening. We've spoken about the fact that the Giroud goal really was the goal that changed this game, but you were looking at the role of Emerson in that goal and you thought that was key.
I think it was a system failure, and that's the problem when you play with three at the back. You leave yourself open on the sides and they got outnumbered. Emerson was getting down. Whenever he went forward, it was a problem. Certainly for Maitland-Niles, who I thought had a very good game tonight actually, but when he got dragged across to deal with Hazard, then there was space for Emerson. And really, I suppose the way that they started the second half, they looked a completely different outfit, Chelsea, in the second half. And look at the space he's got. Look, Maitland-Niles doesn't really know whether to go out to him. He's got a player behind him, and then when it comes into the box, this is where Giroud is different class there, but I think Koscielny has got to read this, got to go with his head. He goes with his foot. He doesn't see it. You've got to mark on the side of the ball there as a defender and make sure you control the centre forward. And Giroud,
it's not even a top cross, right? He just attacks the ball really, really well.
He attacks it well, and he kind of touched there. He's so close to the goal. It's in the back of the net.
Yeah. Well, if you're a left back and you've got Eden Hazard playing in front of you, and you know he wants the ball to feed, you know he wants to cut inside. As soon as Hazard gets the ball, you have to be confident enough to go, right, that's me on my bike. Whether I'm running past Hazard just to create space or eventually to receive the ball, either to cross or get an opportunity to score.
And of course it was Hazard who had the assist for the second goal. Is there a moment where, as a top player like that, you sort of look at the way the game is panning out and you think, look, it's half time, it's a European final, this is now my moment?
No, but he does give you a lot of trust and belief every time he gets the ball in the final third, because when certain players have the ball, you don't expect much. But when Eden has the ball, you expect everything. That's why, look, players start running. You see great movement for Giroud going forward, Pedro coming from the back.
Could this have been given as a foul here? Look,
let's just have a look.
Well, at the time, watching it live, we thought so. I mean, there's a little bit of contact, but I think it was too far perhaps for it to take it back, and VAR never really got involved in it. But, I mean, from here on in, this is Hazard travelling with the ball as we know he can, and then the movement in the box. Pedro there, I mean, again, he expects to score there. That's the sort of player he is. It's a bit scruffy, the way that he hits it, but he's coming off the line as well, and there's nobody. Monreal can't get tight enough to him.
Pedro just anticipates. He sees Hazard getting the ball. That's me making space, movement, because I know he's going to see my movement, and I know he's going to see the space I'm creating either for myself or for someone else.
And I like what Sex says about every time Eden Hazard gets the ball, the rest of the players just come alive. He's the kind of player where, particularly as a striker, you think, I just want to play with him. He just creates, doesn't he?
Well, I'd hate to play against him, I know that.
I bet.
His acceleration with the ball is just at absolute top level. When he turns and faces defenders, would you have liked to face
No,
Martin?
not at all, because that low sense of gravity and the way that he sort of pushes off, that change of pace. I talked about a zippiness to his play that you rarely see. And there's not many defenders really can live with him because he has that pace, change of pace. But he's grown as a player. He's so mature now, came to Chelsea as a boy, he's a man now. I think he deserves, really, Chelsea fans won't thank me for saying it, but I think he deserves the chance now to go and play for Real Madrid.
On how many occasions this evening, especially in the second half, did we see Hazard pick up the ball and Giroud just peeling off, waiting for the ball into his feet? Be wonderful to play then.
There's Pedro again coming off the line, the other side. When they come in there, they outnumber the Arsenal midfield. Giroud knows he's going to be fouled. I think he understands the tackle. And this man, I mean, have you ever seen him? I don't know how many penalties he's missed. He always looks ultra comfortable when he comes up to take him. It was just a matter of slotting it away for him.
What's going to be his legacy at Chelsea? What would each of you remember him for from his time at the club?
I cannot say, you know, he will be the best or most important player in Chelsea's history, because we are talking about the Drogbas, the Lampards, the Terrys, but talent-wise, definitely.
Deco Johnsons.
Definitely, Deco Johnsons, I'm sorry. Completely right, forgot about you. But for sure, he's the most talented player that Chelsea have ever had. I have no doubt about it.
You believe that?
Yes, I do believe that. I played with him for 5 years. When I first joined Chelsea, I said to the press, he is our Messi. He's our Lionel Messi. People were laughing at me. He proved me right.
He's like a modern Zola at Chelsea. Remember when Franco Zola came into the Premier League? He was just miles better than everyone else. Talent-wise, you know, technique, everything, the flair. And this is a modern Zola at Chelsea, Eden Hazard.
I think if you look at, and we don't give Sarri enough credit at all, to be honest, but he's made him happy, hasn't he? And when he's playing with fun, and he's happy, he plays his best football. And he's really comfortable now in a Chelsea shirt. And it's at the time when he's ready to leave it. He's playing some of the best football, and this is his best season. You look at the goals scored, look at the statistics, the stats, the assists.
He's contributed like 45-50% of Chelsea's goals between goals and assists. I mean, this is insane. I mean,
is it the right thing to leave there? You know, when a player loves a club and a club loves a player.
Wobie comes on. I mean, maybe people may question now, why didn't he actually start the game? It is a wonder strike. It is, you know. You looked at it and you thought, could they? What we've seen in Europe this season, but I never felt for any minute really that Arsenal were ever going to get back into this game. It's a collector's item for him, really, a goal of that type of quality. I think that's where he needs to prove most of all, is in front of goal. But Arsenal were never going to get back into it.
And what does the future hold now for Mesut Ozil? There's so much talk about his attitude and his pay packet, so much scrutiny on him. Then in a game like this, I know, you know, all of us felt an element of frustration with the performance tonight. Where does he go from here?
Sometimes you just have it inside or you don't have it. I mean, when he was at Real Madrid, he was surrounded by top players and by one of the best players in the history of the sport, which is Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Mesut. I'm not saying that Ronaldo made it easy for him. He played top football there. But once you step down a little bit, because we can all agree that Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, they are like the top three. They are on another scale. When you drop level a little bit, you have to show yourself a little bit more, because you don't have the same quality around you. And the club buys you to be the actual leader of the club, to carry the team, and I don't know if Mesut has that in him, to be able to carry. I don't talk about this. I don't really know him personally that much. I don't train with him every day, but I don't think he has it in him to be
a leader.
The leader, the one that will put, you know, everyone on his back and just drive them.
He's the icing on the cake type player, isn't he? He needs to be with better players, and he needs to be in a possession-based team. Because out of possession, he's not doing enough. He may think he is, but he isn't. And I think really they couldn't play the style of football they wanted to. I mean, when Arsenal beat Chelsea in the Emirates in January, played with the back four, and the front three were magnificent, and Ramsey was a part of that, closing down. I'm not sure Ozil could have done that tonight. So it gives you a major problem when you want to change tactics.
I think it's fair to say that Mesut Ozil is probably one of the best footballers in that Arsenal dressing room.
Definitely.
Quality-wise, I think we can all agree. And it's always a problem when you can't fit your best footballer in the team. So where does the problem lie?
But who is the problem? Then the manager?
No, if you can't fit him in, there must be something in his attitude or in his game that you can't fit in the system that you want to play. And tonight it was obvious, I thought.
It's a problem that Emery has inherited, isn't it? Should have been dealt with before.
And it's not only him. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
There were a few players this evening below par in the second half for Arsenal. Didn't rise to the occasion.
Okay, well, let's get the thoughts, shall we, of the Arsenal manager. Here's Unai Emery.
Unai, I know it's a very difficult night for everyone at Arsenal tonight. How did the game change so dramatically in that second half after having such a good first half performance?
Good evening. First, congratulations to Chelsea. Really, the first half, I think we worked and we played with a good challenge to take a good result. We get the box with some options. chances to score, and the match was going like we can think. The second half, the first goal changed all, and after we tried to keep in the match finding one goal, but their second goal was difficult for us, and I think the second half was going the things better for them, and also when we wanted to do something we didn't find efficacy to score, and I think the result is like that, and they deserve it also to win. We deserve maybe some more on the game, but we didn't do.
Listen, this isn't a one-off anymore. Arsenal are now a Europa League side with ambitions of being in the Champions League. For the third successive season, they'll be in the Europa League. It's the big work now for the manager Unai Emery, for the MD Vinai Venkatesham, the head of football Raul Sanllehi. The three of them somehow have got to get together, keep the best players, and attract better players to improve the squad without being able to offer them huge amounts of money because they're a self-sustaining club or Champions League football. This is a crossroads.
Well, and you talked there, you mentioned about keeping the players, because Aubameyang and Lacazette, it won't be easy to hold on to those players because they're that good. It will be tested. And then, of course, it's about budgets. This severely dents the budget, the opportunity to go out and spend big money, maybe £40 million less worse off. I actually feel a bit sorry for Emery because he's put an awful lot of work into this. He's tried to wring out that intensity of players that it's not in their body type. It's not, the change of personnel over the years has changed to such an extent, and you have to put Arsene Wenger into this, that the judgment on players, the type of player that's been brought has become more and more technical over the years, and that real toughness, steeliness doesn't seem to be there. And if you look, the similarities from last season to this, they finished one position better off in the Premier League. They conceded 51 goals last year, 51 this year. It's the same group of players, so the major change is needed. But how are they going to do it? Where's the money going to come from? Is the owner now going to suddenly, for once, put some of his own money in?
Or is it a project?
It's a project, it's a budget. Somebody's got to become a little bit more emotional and maybe put some money in. And let's see what can happen. Because Emery needs to be supported. I think he's the right manager. I don't like the fact 23 times this season he changed from a back three to a back four. If there was another game next week, he'd be changing it to a four. That's got to be sorted out. That's the wrong message for the players. But he's a good coach and he's got desire. And unfortunately, he's got more desire than a lot of his players.
Wow. Okay. Well, one man who bears farewell to Arsenal this evening is Petr Cech. Earlier, Reshman spoke with him.
I know that, it's probably difficult to reflect on this right now, but you leave football with the respect of the entire footballing community. When you look back on your glorious career, there are so many highs.
I'm proud of myself, obviously. I'm as well proud of the way I played today, because when you play your last career game in the final, and there's a lot of pressure, obviously, there's a lot of speculations and all those things about, Chelsea and all these things. So, I had to perform, and I have to say I've done everything so I can look back and I have no regrets about today, apart of the fact that, we worked so hard during the whole year, and in the end, we have nothing. And this is, I think it's something this group of players probably don't deserve, because the behind the scene, the coaching staff, the people who comes every day, the supporters and everybody, they can't see that behind the scene how much work has been done this season. And it's easy to say, okay, we finish empty-handed, we have no cup, we lost this final 4-1. But I can assure everybody who's supporting Arsenal that the work we have done during this season will come next season, and this team will be much stronger.
Absolutely. I can see it's very emotional for you. I'm sure it's reassuring for the Arsenal fans. Just very quickly, you mentioned the speculation, lots of talk over your future. I know it's probably not the time to ask, but Have you decided?
No, I kept saying, you know, this is the most disappointing thing. You keep saying to everybody that now, you know, I wanted to lift the trophy and then sit down and think until the 30th of June I'm still Arsenal player. People forgot it. So until that point, obviously, I won't decide on anything.
I'll leave you to join your teammates. Thank you so much for talking to us.
You tell us now, where does the future lie?
I don't know yet. You know, I think we'll decide in a few days. My target today was to win the trophy. That's it. That's the only thing I was in my mind.
What is your thinking though? What decision has to be made? What do you have to take into consideration?
I took my decision already. You know that.
You've made your decision?
Yeah. I said that 2 weeks ago. Now it's dependent on the club. So I'm just waiting.
Depending on Chelsea or someone else?
Both club. I'm just waiting like you wait, like the fans wait. So you will see. You will know in a couple of days.
Do you expect to be there next season, or is this a goodbye, Edin? All the fans want to know.
Yeah, I think it's a goodbye, but in football you never know. You know, my dream was to play in Premier League. I did this for 7 years.